Looking for an easy to install IP camera in the home with night vision? Remocam has it for you.
We dig into the wireless night vision two-way audio IP surveillance Remocam smart home security camera.
Welcome everybody to Spike Studio product review. This time we're going to take a look at Remocam. So Remocam was a Kickstarter. They have a lot of capabilities built in, from the ease of the setup, which we'll talk about, cloud recording, local recording, line out, full control remote, a great app, does other things. So let's look up close at the setup and then come back and give our overall opinion.
So we're going to be up close and personal, take a look at Remocam. We're going to also look at the app that they have. 1 minute setup, they say, live feed, motion sensors, night vision, cloud recording, 256-bit encryption, HD resolution, a little bit of everything. So let's open the box and take a look. Okay, so first things first, power cord, as you'd expect, that we have a quick start guide, some other information you need. Here's the actual camera itself. It actually rotates a full 360 because you can control it. Now let's look at the back, and then we'll actually do the setup and hookup. The back has a line in, a line out, a micro SD slot for storing recordings, and of course the power. So let's get it hooked up. We'll talk about the actual features and go from there. So we'll go through these last steps together. The only thing I did real quick was I input an email address. It sent a confirmation email that I had to click on the link to confirm. I had to create the password and stuff. So that's no big deal. So we'll go to the next part. It says make sure your phone is connected to Wi-Fi, which it is. It's going to ask what your Wi-Fi network name is. It's going to try to search and find some. So let me enter mine and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is really cool. It doesn't say I actually had to plug it in yet, which I guess I am, but you have to keep the room quiet during setup. Hold your phone screen in front of Remocam 5 to 12 inches and wait for Remocam to say recognize the QR code. So first, let's actually plug this in. I waited a minute, so I think it's supposed to talk to us. All right, so we've fired up the power for the Remocam. Now, let's go ahead and do this step that it says to hold the phone and to actually scan the QR code.
Welcome to Remocam.
It's a good sign. Connect network, found the QR code.
Recognize the QR code.
Wow. Oh, and then on here it says hard to connect to the server. Please don't close the app. So right now it's actually use the QR code. It's going to connect up via the Wi-Fi that it pushes to it with the QR information and then put the two together. So what I found between the two was, it wasn't even a minute that it took for it to do that. So probably has to send a signal back. There it is. Came back to this. So now it's back to the login screen for that. So now we're going to log in and start playing around with settings and monitoring. So now we've officially logged in. So you have some choices here. It says My House in your settings, motion sensor. You can turn that on and off. What happens is it records 20 seconds or 10 seconds before and after the event total. You can save it to the cloud. You can save it to an internal SD card. You can do push notifications. You can do all sorts of things with that, which is really cool. I like the detect areas and what areas you can detect. You have to turn the motion sensor on. So we're actually going to turn the motion sensor on, which it is. There's push notifications are on, which sends it to your email address. You have a camera name, which you can edit up here at the top. And then the last part is detection area. Detection area is pretty darn cool. Entire, you can make it larger, you can make it smaller. My Home detected motion. So you can do all sorts of things with it there. And you can also adjust the camera, connecting the camera and change that as well. Sensitivity, you can set that to medium or low. And the last part is the resolution. For right now, it's an HD quality. You can also change the orientation if you need to. As for the remote, you can actually add a device to do some controls. We'll talk about that as well.
So we're back from the close setup. As you can see, one of the coolest things about it was the ability for you to use a QR code in front of the camera to do the setup. No more of this connect to it via like Bluetooth and then have it get the Wi-Fi and then configure it to the Wi-Fi and then reconnect via the app. Forget all that. You simply hold the phone with the QR code in front. It does the setup for you, and you're ready to go. That's one of the coolest things about this. Forget just the simple night vision. You also have the ability to save to the cloud. We talked about the back. There's an SD card slot. You actually have a line in ability and a line out ability. You can set up while you're in here. We're going to connect to the camera live for a moment. You actually have the ability, of course, to listen and speak like most of the cameras nowadays. The night vision worked very well. We're probably going to use this in the studio for some longer term type stuff. There's even a siren. So if you're remote, you can kick off the siren. You can talk and listen, which will get feedback we're not going to do. You can also on the fly click record video, which will then either save it depending on your settings in the device through the actual SD card or up to the cloud, whatever you choose. There's also the ability, as we talked about, to control other devices in the home with their application. Not too important for this review, except it's built in. It's kind of cool that they're able to do that for you. I like that. They're trying to be an all-in-one remote. Of course, you have, the pan and tilt and zoom with this as well, which I really enjoy. As you can see, it's moving around. That really, really strengthens what you can do with this, and then it automatically changes the night vision mode. What else can we tell you? Besides the pan and tilt, it does have 256-bit encryption, so you don't have to worry about the traffic on your camera going in and out. You can load multiple cameras into the application itself, and each one can be configured individually. You can trigger them for motion to send you an alert like this one just did. It just said, oh, we saw alert because I moved my hand in front of it. Otherwise, the live feed and everything else. So I want to say thanks to Remocam for sending this over. We're definitely going to put that to use here in the studio. Probably a good security one, as well as just playing around and giving you guys a good third eye view of what goes on here. It's another product review from Spike Studio. Please